Asian Americans are vastly underrepresented in the United States media, as noted by the National Asian Pacific American Legal Consortium. This underrepresentation is the manifestation of greater systematic marginalization of Asian Pacific Islander groups rooted in the xenophobic tendencies of the United States. Furthermore, Asian Americans in the media often consist of stereotypical characters that only serve to perpetuate already trivializing cultural beliefs. The media is a direct reflection of societal norms and beliefs. Socializing the nation to stereotypes only furthers oppression. Although it is true that American media has made huge progress within the past few decades, there is still much work to be done. In our webisode, we will talk about various Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in literature, print, and online media who are rejecting the stereotypical role society has placed on them by creating their own art as a form of resistance in hopes of forging a new API voice.
Hey all you fashion followers out there, this is Stephanie Liao.
And I'm Julia Smith with the Fashion Corner.
So hey Julia, do you know what Alexander Wang, Richard Chai, and Jason Wu all have in common?
Well, I don't know. What do you tell me, Stephanie?
Last year, it looks like these Asian American designers were the most successful of the fashion elite. At the 2010 American Fashion Awards ceremony, an event equivalent to the Oscars, the best new designers of the year were awarded to 3 Asian American designers for the first time ever in fashion history. Richard Chai was awarded for menswear,
Jason Wu was awarded for women's wear,
and Alexander Wang for accessories.
Jason Wu is best known for his gown worn by Michelle Obama at the inaugural ball, which is now on display at the Smithsonian National Museum for American History.
Now it's time for our special report. American society is now accepting a wider spectrum of what we consider beautiful. The standards of beauty in Asia are modeled after the media portrayals of beauty in the US. Therefore, the emphasis has long been on tall, blonde, and wide-eyed. Many Asian women have undergone oral eyelid surgery in order to achieve the ideal eyes of beauty. But by the looks of what is considered beautiful, the dominant face is seemingly white.
This surgery is to Asians what breast augmentations are to mainland Americans.
To better understand it, we had Dr. Lee take a look at my face.
First of all, I guess, tell me how my features differ from Caucasian features.
Sure. The most common or most obvious thing is the upper eyelid. Crease it slightly higher and then relax your brow now. Set your crease a little bit higher so that your eyes look brighter.
By brighter, he means bigger, which is exactly what Annie wants. She wants to look a little like the Asian actresses she sees on TV and on the internet.
You notice the big eyes.
Yes, I actually really pay attention to that part. Because whenever I see a big eye woman, I just feel that, oh, she's really pretty.
Back at Dr. Surgery was introduced in the 1950s after the Korean War, when women wanted to look more Caucasian to impress American GIs. Critics of the surgery say Asian women who alter their eyelids are turning their back on their ethnic identity. Dr. Lee says that's impossible.
No one's going to mistake them for being Caucasian or African American. They look Asian. So what we're trying to do is preserve ethnicity, and the bigger question is whether the standard of beauty is changing.
In American pop culture, there have been many fashion icons, such as Betty Davis, Jane Greer, Brooke Shields, and Cindy Crawford, just to name a few. Now we're looking at the faces of a new era with an ever-changing idea of what beauty means. For example, Chinese-born Liu Wen was the first Asian model to walk for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. She's the first Asian model to represent the company on the runway since the company began in 1977. She's also the new face of Estee Lauder.
In light of new transitions with Asian models and designers gaining notoriety in the fashion industry, Vogue magazine has been under scrutiny and criticized for a featured article on Asian models titled Asia Major in the recent 2010 December issue.
The critiques expressed mixed opinions.
In a February article in the Huffington Post, fashion journalist Blue Carrion posed the question, is this the time of the Asian model? Following up on the Vogue December 2010 article featuring 8 prominent Asian models, there has been a rising trend in Asian models in print ads, fashion magazine spreads, and runways.
Since the article Asia Major was published, Asian models have been in every issue since, a huge change from before when editor-in-chief of Vogue, Anna Wintour, has been criticized to quote-unquote whitewash every issue.
Many notable fashion moguls have jumped onto this Asian bandwagon. Whether or not for the trend or for saluting diversity, it's hard to tell. In Givenchy's upcoming Spring Couture runway show, a full Asian lineup is to be expected. When interviewed, the creative director of Givenchy stated that the choice to have an all-Asian model lineup was because of the Japanese-inspired theme of the spring line. Asian male models are also on the rise as well. Louis Vuitton, Giorgio Armani, Prada, and a couple of other couture designers have all cast Asian male models for their spring campaigns. Though Asia has been one of fashion's biggest markets, the question of why now still looms. Is the sudden rise of Asian faces in the U.S. fashion culture a strategy for gaining more grasp on the Chinese consumer market? Or are Asians the face of the new definitions of beauty?
Just like with fashionable clothing, everything comes with critiques and compliments. Vogue's December article sparked debate about whether or not Asians are really the revolutionary change to the ideals of beauty, and if not, are Asians featured in magazines just an act of tokenism? The blogosphere had much to contribute to the debate. One blogger argued that having only 2-page spread wasn't enough to call it a revolutionary movement, since the American Vogue has never had an Asian on the cover, let alone a full editorial. Another fashion commentator left the trend up to economics, saying, "Everybody in the fashion or beauty industry recognizes the importance of global markets, and currently China, Taiwan, and South Korea are at the forefront. The upshot is that customers want to see some version of themselves represented." The answers to the ongoing debate are not predictable as of yet, but hopes of incorporating more diverse faces in contemporary U.S. magazines holds true. This has been the Fashion Corner with
Stephanie Liao
and Julia Smith. Back to you, Sam.